Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. Forgive me, I have not had enough coffee today. This is now my second, well technically this is my 1.5 cups of coffee. I had some, drank half, now I'm having more. I promise you I will still sleep tonight. Because I drink it like water. Anyway, except not today, but anyway. So let us talk about the autumnal equinox. In some magical traditions, it is known as Mabon. Now, I also need to acknowledge that in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, where people who live in France and the UK, in the United States like yours truly live, it's the Northern Hemisphere. My friends in Brazil and in Australia, they live in the Southern Hemisphere. And I know that there are other countries, I think New Zealand is a country in the Southern Hemisphere, I don't remember all of them, but I remember enough of them, I think, but I can learn more. So, for the people who live in the Southern Hemisphere, this past Sunday, which was September 22nd, 2024, was the date of the Vernal Equinox, which some magical traditions call Ostara. But this video is all about the autumnal equinox. So first, the autumnal equinox is just that. It is when autumn officially begins in the Northern Hemisphere. It is when spring officially begins in the Southern Hemisphere. And autumn is the second of the 3 harvest festivals. The first is LOO-nuh-suh, which is also known as Lammas. That video has already been recorded. And then we have the autumnal equinox, which in some magical traditions is called Mabon, and that was this past Sunday, so it was 3 days ago, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it is the second harvest festival, and then we have the third and final harvest festival, which is called SOW-when, and is pronounced SOW-when, not Samhain. This is a point of contention. This is a point of contention for many of my fellow witches. It is not pronounced Samhain, it is pronounced SOW-when. So, the autumnal equinox is the second of the harvest festivals, so it is an opportunity to express gratitude, to give offerings in gratitude. One of my biggest issues when I first began engaging in group ritual was how much I heard, gimme, 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 I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. How about thank you? Can you give thanks to the goddess who is your mother goddess? Can you give thanks to the goddess for the blessings you've already received? Can you give thanks for the good luck, for the good job, for not going hungry, for not being homeless? Can you give thanks before you ask for yet another thing of this very incredibly patient and overworked deity? And even now, and you know, to me, COVID-19 meant no group ritual, so, you know, and funny enough, I really haven't gone back to group ritual, but that's another topic for another YouTube video for another day. So with that being said, because it is also an equinox, the number of daylight and nighttime hours are pretty much the same. So for the vernal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, as well as the autumnal equinox in the Southern Hemisphere, and the autumnal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, and the vernal equinox in the Southern Hemisphere, we have a balance of daytime hours and nighttime hours. Maybe not necessarily equal, but pretty close to it. So spells for balance, harmony, equilibrium are absolutely ideal during the autumnal equinox, especially since regardless of where you live, whether it is the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere, the sun is still entering Libra, the sign of balance and partnership and harmony. By the way, fun fact, Libra is not the sign of marriage, it is the sign of the marriage contract. I was surprised when I first read that. I'm like, you know, but that makes sense. That makes sense. So, and no, I actually do not remember which is the sign of marriage. If I had to give you, I would say Taurus, I would say Leo, although Leo is more children or sex, as well as having sex to have children or having sex to conceive children. But I digress. But no, Libra is actually the sign of the marriage contract. And if we look at some of the deities that correspond to Libra, it makes perfect sense. Because one of the most well-known deities connected to the sign of Libra is Mayet. Mayet's name sometimes looks like it's pronounced Ma'at. But I once met a woman named Mayet, and she informed me that that is the only true correct pronunciation. I was not going to argue with her. Just like I don't argue with people about how my name is pronounced. It's pronounced Robert. And it's only pronounced Robert. I mean, in English anyway. In Spanish, it's Roberto. In French, it's Robert. But in English, it's Robert. She said it's pronounced Mayet. I'm not going to argue with her at all. So Mayet, capital M, lowercase a, apostrophe, lowercase a, lowercase t, Mayet, the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Whatever the ancient Egyptian term is for the word karma, she is the goddess of that. I used to say that Mayet was the goddess of truth, justice, and the Egyptian way. Can you tell that I'm a comic book nerd? Anyway, but getting back to the topic, so it is about expressing gratitude. It is about giving offerings to the deities, to the spirits in gratitude, or with a spirit of gratitude and praise. It is about acknowledging the bounty one already has. It is about acknowledging the abundance one already has. You know, last night, my life partner and I went to a nearby restaurant, and it made me so happy. First of all, that I had so much money that between his wages and the monies that I receive in exchange for my psychic services, that and magical spellcasting services and energy healing services, that we had set aside more than enough money not only to have a lovely, delicious dinner, but also to pay a mutual friend of ours an amount of money to clean a certain area of the living room. And it just, I mean, I'm happier that I was able to give our friend so much. Because number one, he deserves every penny of that. And number two, he gave me so much peace of mind with him cleaning this area. This is the area of my divine prosperity altar. So, or rather the divine prosperity of altar that is both my life partner's and mine. And knowing that that's been cleaned, now I can begin cleansing that area and reconsecrating it for the upcoming new moon in Libra. So I'm the level of peace of mind that I've had is so, I mean, it's so vast, I can't even begin to tell you. So also, in addition to spells and offerings of gratitude, and in addition to offerings of praise, it is also about taking note, taking stock of what you have and what you have received and what you have accomplished. And also looking to like, okay, well, what else do I want to achieve? What else do I want to attract? What else do I want to build up? Because remember, in the witch's wheel of the year, the witch's new year is Samhain. This is the last Sabbath. The Autumnal Equinox, or Mabon, if you will, is the last Sabbath before Samhain. So this is the witch's wheel of the year's counterpart to the sign of Pisces, meaning it's the last station in that wheel. So this is about, okay, I've accomplished this, I'm grateful for this, I'm thankful for this, and let's see what else I can attract, what else I can build up, what else will give me an opportunity to express great gratitude and profound praise in the meantime. And again, equinox, equal night. So it's also about bringing balance and harmony into your life, into your professional life, into your personal life, into your spiritual life, into your magical life, into your sexual life, into your financial life, into your life purpose, or as I would say, divine life purpose as well. cats all around. So I would love to hear from you in YouTube land if you did anything special for Samhain. For the Autumnal Equinox or for Mabon, not Samhain, because I already did a Samhain video. So now I'm interested in what you did, if anything, for the Autumnal Equinox or what you did for Mabon. Whichever term you prefer is totally okay with me. And also, what else you want to accomplish with regards to... Yes, Drake, I did see that. No, I'm not blaming Drake for something. I'm just letting him know that I saw what one of the cats did. And I just saw what one of the same cats did now. Uh-huh. Yes, Durga. We're going to have a chat. I know you don't want to hear it, but you're going to have to. So let me know in the comments what you did for the Autumnal Equinox, what you did for Mabon, how you welcomed the spirit of autumn, or if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, the spirit of spring. And as always, I am most thankful to all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do, for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel, and an extra big and extra beautiful thank you to those of you who have already scheduled your sessions, including the first and probably only in-person private reading that I am doing in less than a week and a half with somebody who's been using my psychic services for at least 30 years and probably closer to 35 years now that I think about it. And it's funny because his reading is the only in-person private reading that I've done so far this year, which is fine with me. I'm totally okay with that. I am okay with it. And also, thank you to those of you who have already scheduled your phone readings and video readings and have already hired me to engage in magical spell casting on your behalf. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. And until the next video, stay in tune with your intuition. Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for the next video.